Hello and welcome to this pit stop for Marco Polo II in the service of the Khan. Designed by Daniele, Tascini, Simone, Luciani, published by Gluck, for 2 to 4 players taking around 90 minutes to play, and a successor to the voyages of Marco Polo. In Marco Polo 2, this will sound familiar if you've played the first game, we're going to play over 5 rounds. For each round, each of the players are going to roll their 5 dice, and then they're going to use their dice by assigning them to spots all over the board in order to collect goods, fulfill contracts, and travel around. Now, in this version, all the players start in Beijing in the service of the Khan, and they're going to be spreading across the east here, looking to get contracts out in the world by traveling around and joining guilds, but still looking to score the most points to win the game. So what are the action spots you can take? Well, down here are all the ones available to everyone. Over here is the first new thing, is the guild spot. And when you put 2 dice into the guild spot, you get to take the tile of one of the guilds. So for example, if we wanted to come and take the Potter's Guild, we would need 2 dice, the lowest of which could be a 2. We'd pop it in there and we would take the guild. And you also get to take Jade, which is the new resource within it. And we pop that there on our board. Now, Jade can be used at all times instead of a camel or instead of a coin, but also has its own uses. What use are these guilds? Well, you have to activate them. You have to hand in things in order to make them of any use. It happens that they've all got their own costs. This one is 2 spice and 5 coins. And if I handed those in, I would flip it over, and then it becomes one of the things is an income. So straight away, I would earn 1 more jade. And at the beginning of each subsequent turn, I earn a jade. And each of the 4 different ones have got different things that you earn and different costs. However, they also open up travel routes on the board for you. So by being a member of the Potter's Guild, I can use these 2 rivers up here to make my journeying around the map a bit easier. Now this is a blue space, meaning that other players can go on top of me when they go in there. If any player does wish to go on top of me, they're going to have to pay coins equal to the lowest of the 2 dice that they used to go on top of me there. The next space along here, these are brown spaces, meaning only 1 player can activate those. These are actually city cards, and these are going to swap each round. You'll get 2 new spaces, so these are completely different, and they're going to allow you basically to do various things. In this case, it shows you I can get use for my jade. If I pop 1 die in there, for the number of pips on the die, I could activate the power that number of times, and this is handing 1 jade each time to earn 5 money. And like I say, those will change and they'll come from a deck, and there are various powers and lots of different variations. And you can see more of those out on the board because there are activation spaces from this deck on the board, and when we travel, we're going to see how we get access to them. As before, there's favour of the Khan. You need to put dice in ascending number in here, and for every die in there, you get 2 camels or 4 coins, and you can only have 1 die of each colour. And the reason there's a yellow one here is we're playing a 3-player game, and with fewer than 4, you seed it automatically. Now down here, this is how you're going to get goods, not the market from before. You can put in a die of at least 1, so basically any die in here. It's a blue space, so players can go on top of each other by paying money. You can never in any of these blue spaces have a die of the same player colour, so if I wish to go in here again, I would have to take a black die and use it on that pile. I couldn't put another red on top. 1 at least here, 3 at least here, and 5 at least here, but there are 2 spaces up here. These top spaces are fixed, meaning you just get those in income, 1 jade and 2 spice, for example, or 2 silk and 1 camel. But these ones down here, they change. They get drawn out from these decks. There are 5 in this stack. This is the round timer, and you can see what's coming up. So this time round, if I came to this spot, I could pay 1 jade and get 4 spice, but next time round, I get 2 spice and 1 silk. And that's how you're going to get the basic goods in order to fulfill your contracts. Now, we've talked about the board. You're going to need to move your agent around the board and able to get access to all the different things. And there are now 3 different ways in which you can move. The most basic one is to put 1 die in here of any value, pay 2 money, and then you can move on the board. Now let's say, for example, the green player here wanted to do that. They'd put a die in here, pay 2 money, and move 1 space along. Every single junction here, every single route on the board has got a cost. In this case, it's 5 money and 1 camel. So as well as the cost here, the green player would have to pay the 5 money and 1 camel. And there are various different types of city you can activate. In this case, for being the first player here, green would put 1 house into play, take that bonus of 5 money, and now what they've done is activated this contract space so that they can take contracts from here, because you can't get them from anywhere down here on the board like the first game. You must be present in a contract city to get them. However, you can do further moves than that as usual. I could use this space up here. Again, I'd have to pay go on top. There's already a player in here, and I can move 1 to 3 spaces here. So the good green player could put a minimum of a 2 or one of his 2 dice in there, and then move along, pay the full cost of 9 coins, a camel and a jade, and come down here, and then put their trading house into play there. In this case, they would get the one-off bonus here of a camel and 3 money, and at the start of each turn, they would also get that as an income. It's got that exclamation mark, which is the same thing you'll see on flipped over guild tiles and on some of the characters, which we'll talk about in a second. Now, the bonus of using the top space, it takes 3 die. You can move up to 6 spaces if the lowest die you use in there is a 6, but also if you move multiple spaces using the top space, you get to drop 1 trading house off on the way, which again is different. So for greens move from here to here, if they use 3 dice up here, they could also drop 1 off on the way and claim this, and therefore have access to these contracts and this income. Now I'm talking about the contracts, how we actually can get hold of those. If you come down here, you can go with any die. It's a blue space, people can pile on top of each other. When you go in here, as long as you've got a trading house in a contract city, you can take 1 or 2 contracts from that city and you earn 3 gold for doing so. The actual action spaces up here are all brown spaces as in the previous game. As long as you have a trading post in that city, you can put 1 die and only 1 player can do it each turn. And you can do whatever these powers are, and these are all varied, and each setup is going to be different as you shuffle the deck and put them in. But these remain the same for the game. These are the 2 that will cycle each round. So you're using your die to take your actions, but there are also bonus actions you can take. I mentioned these black dice. You can always pay 3 camels in order to take 1 black die. You then roll it, and then becomes available to you. And for example, with this one, I could then go on top of this red die and activate these powers again for a second time, because it doesn't matter how many blacks we have in a particular area. Also for camels, for 2, you get to add 1 to the value of a die or take 1 off, or for 1, you just get to re-roll 1 of your die looking for a different result, although I got the same one there. Other things you can do. It's a free action to go into the pouch here. You can put any of your dice in there. It doesn't count as your action for this turn. You get 3 money, 2 camels, or a jade if you need something to help you boost up. It is a free action to flip over the guild, as we discussed, and pay the cost, and then get the income and open up those travel routes for you. And also is a free action to complete any of your contracts. For example, up here, this contract that I've collected previously requires 1 camel and 3 silk. In doing so, I pay those in. I take this contract, I get the bonus on there. That's going to be 3 points for me, and also is going to allow me to retain or get 1 other good. And I flip that over and I pile it up here. And that is one of the ways in which you're going to look to pile up points. Those are your free actions. There is one more type of thing on the board I want to discuss before we go on to how you actually win the game and a couple of the other bits and bobs. There are guild headquarters here. I'm a member of the Potter Guild. If I come here, I open up the action in that if I put a die in play, I get the boost of 7 money. Then depending upon the value of the die I've used, I get the bonus, the income from my guild, which is 1 jade, either once for a low value die or twice for a higher value one. And like I say, the bonuses you get and what you get are different for each of the 3 guild headquarters. Okay. Various other things we have. I mentioned characters. Everyone's going to get 1 character. You're going to do a reverse draft in reverse player order at the beginning of the game for this. Everyone also gets objective cards. Now, objective cards are going to show you guilds that it's going to ask you to become a certified member of, and it will score you points for having done so. Also, it's going to show you types of cities that you're going to get a bonus for being present in, because let's talk about some end game scoring. You score those guilds that you've got on your objective card. You also look where your trading posts are. And these cities have got a number of different shields on them. There's only 1 or 2 of each one on the board. You can look to see how many different shields that you've got, and that's going to give you bonus scoring. But your goal card is going to give you 1 extra shield, if you like, for particular types of cities. So here, for example, if I'd managed to get to Kabul with a red trading post, that will count twice for me rather than just once, because it's on my goal card. There's also a bonus for the person who's handed in the most contracts, as well as a handful of points for having resources and lots of money left at the end of the game. So 5 rounds, allocating your dice onto the board or to cities you made presence in, handing in your contracts, using the bonus powers, and trying to score the most points in the Marco Polo II in the service of the Khan. This has been a Game Pit Stop. For more videos like this, check out our YouTube channel. For more in-depth coverage of gaming, please check out the Game Pit podcast.